So by now, a lot of you have received your loans and you have questions. You want to know what you can do to get this loan forgiven. In this video, we are going to cover what you have to do as the business owner to get your PPP loan forgiven. So if you're interested, keep on watching. So there's so many videos out there on what you have to do to get your loan forgiven, and they all seem really complicated, and it's actually fairly simple. There's two tests that you have to meet, and the first one is making sure that 75% of the funds that you received are allocated to payroll costs. Now, I have two videos on PPP loans. Make sure you check them out. I'm gonna link them down below, and basically I detail in both of those videos what expenses are qualified as payroll costs. Now, it's super important to note that 75% of the funds that you receive cannot be allocated to subcontractor costs. Now, something that's not commonly talked about is that there is a pay requirement. So if you've paid yourself a salary, you must maintain at least 75% of your total salary. Now, this is also going to be assessed by individual employee that did not receive more than $100,000 pay in 2019. If the employee's pay over the 8 weeks is less than 75% of the pay received in the most recent quarter when they were employed, the eligible amount of forgiveness will be reduced by the difference between the current pay and 75% of the original pay. Now, as employers, you do have a grace period for rehiring your employees. You can rehire any staff that were laid off or put on furlough and reinstate any pay that was decreased by 25% to meet the requirement of forgiveness. You have until June 30th to do so. Now, test 2 states that you must maintain the same number of employees. So even if you do everything right with test 1 and you allocate 75% of your costs to payroll costs, the remaining 25% you spend on qualified expenses, you maintain great records, you're able to substantiate all of those expenses. If you do not maintain the same number of employees, then you will not be eligible for the full forgiveness of the loan. So how employee count is determined: when you filled out your PPP application, you submitted payroll reports. In those payroll reports, you stated how many employees you have. So there's an important acronym that you should know, FTE, which stands for full-time equivalent employees. Now, this is important because that's how we're going to determine your employee count. Now, there's so many definitions of FTE out there, and the SBA has not stated which definition they're going to go with. So we're still waiting on guidance as far as that. If I could make my best professional guess, I would assume that the way they're going to handle it is anyone that is paid 30 hours or more is considered a full-time employee. And if the employee has less than 30 hours, they're going to be considered a part-time employee. So my best guess is for every 2 part-time employees, that's going to be considered 1 FTE, full-time equivalent employee. Now, right now, there are currently 2 drivers working against business owners. So the unemployment benefit right now is probably its best it's ever been. And so it can be difficult for employers to rehire their employees. I think I read somewhere where it said that the unemployment benefit is about $980 per week. So, I mean, if you think about it, a lot of people aren't going to want to come back to work when they're making pretty good money being unemployed. And then the second driver that's really hindering people from coming back to work is people don't want to. They're scared. You know, right now kids are out of school. They can't afford full-time daycare. The stay-at-home order is really hindering people that do want to come back to work to be able to. So as business owners, it is your responsibility that make sure that your FTE count is right on the money so you can have your PP loan forgiven. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.